Today's episode is brought to you by Organifi. Organifi is an organic superfood supplement line that makes quality, trusted nutrition convenient and accessible. Their most popular product, green juice, solves the problem of juicing greens on the go. Just add water, drink, and let your body soak up the benefits. Visit Organifi.com, that's Organifi.com, to learn more about an exciting offer for you, our podcast listeners. Today's show is also brought to you by Health IQ. Health IQ is an insurance agency that does things just a bit differently. They help health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, weightlifters, vegans, and vegetarians get lower rates on their life insurance. To see if you qualify, get your free quote today at healthiq.com/success or mention the promo code SUCCESS when you talk to a Health IQ agent. And now let's jump into today's show.
I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You're not even good. You were born to be great.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined as always by the Bayesian sensation, Mr. Karl Wesley Phillips.
What is happening? What up? What up?
Dr. Douglas Thomas, who is under the weather and did not have his Organifi with him, got caught slipping. Hey, man, OG once said it's better to be caught with it than without it.
I know that's right.
Hey, man, we all wishing you back to health. Listen, if me and Karl got to carry this podcast, it ain't going to be nothing new to the listeners.
Right,
but just to make the announcement on the front end, we'll be more than happy to carry this.
No doubt.
So, man, I think I sent you the pictures of them digging up my whole yard, right?
Whole yard.
So, like, bruh, Karl, I don't know if I told you. They like.
What? They was doing it when I was there. Same thing or something else?
No, same thing.
Oh, wow.
So, fair foul. Now, y'all know, I'm not going to say I got a green thumb, but I did have, I had some landscaping done, right? So I had bricks, the little landscaping bricks around my tree, and I had them along the little pathway. So these jokers, by the way, they came up to my door telling me, oh, hey, sir, we're going to be out here working for a couple days. We're installing some new pipe. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, they're going to dig up, maybe a hole, 2 feet hole. No, they dug up probably about how deep, 8 feet, 7 feet?
Easy.
They done dug a hole,
Easy.
a huge hole.
Easy.
In the front yard. So I'm like, okay, so these jokers out there day, night, I can't even get in and out my driveway. I'm talking about just a pain. But the real fair foul was, I'm pissed off. They've been out there 8 months working on it. I came out there, these jokers done took up my landscaping bricks and they done put a tarp around the hole and used my landscaping bricks to hold the tarp down. Fair foul. Now, how you gonna use my bricks from my tree to hold down your tarp? I came out there, bro, I almost let them have it, bro. I was like, yo, you have got to be kidding me. They used my bricks from around the tree to hold down the tarp. So my stuff was I'm like, okay, this thing got out of hand and I was about to go crazy, but I'm trying to keep my rebaptismal in order. But no, is that fair? Fair foul. Fair foul.
It's savage. That ain't neither. That's
savage. I know, man. So
they're like, I don't care nothing about your garden and your landscape.
Bro, they really don't,
bro.
They got cigarette butts in my lawn. I'm like, yo, y'all just throwing squares down. This is just unprofessional as it comes. But I ain't feel like, I'm not sure they would have responded well to a pep talk.
No, they wouldn't have.
So I was like, you know what? Let me because they putting down a gas line. So somebody could magically forget, to do something, my house blow up. So I chose the higher route. You know what I'm saying? So
I like that.
Anyway,
the higher route, the high road.
Yeah, the high road. Yeah. What did I say? Higher route? Yeah, that was one of E.T.'s moves. It sounded right. Real quick. Okay, so what are we talking about today? Oh, so yeah, E, you have to walk us through. For those of you who don't know and not on Instagram, and I don't even know if we talked about it here, but Eric Thomas, in typical E.T. fashion, has done it again. I don't know how, but some kind of way, E has been working with Loyola Chicago this whole year. And I don't even know if we said anything. I mean, you work with, a couple teams or whatever, but this year, you have been working pretty closely with Loyola Chicago.
Yep.
And unless you just hate sports altogether or live under a rock, you know that Loyola has made it to the Final Four.
Final Four.
I don't think we said anything last week, but that's actually why E was here in Atlanta. He went to speak to him at the Sweet 16. And I'll be honest, when they won their first game, I was like, oh, wow, that's dope. Loyola. Like, me and E were texting with, it was like, yo, we got to win. And then they won again, and I was like, yo, they in the Sweet 16. This is amazing. So he was like, I'm going to come down there. So he came down here. He went and spoke to him, Sweet 16. They won, and I was like, okay, this is getting downright scary. And so I'm like, no way they can go to the Final Four. And they absolutely did get the victory, and now they are in the Final Four, and they are playing
Michigan.
a team that we're not even allowed to say the name of them on this podcast.
Bad. Right.
Karl from Barbados, so he don't mind.
Yeah, no,
fault.
I mind. They're playing an amazing blue team from Ann Arbor.
Yeah.
And just, I mean, it's just been an incredible journey. And so, for those of us who don't get a chance to work closely with these teams and see the ins and outs, like, this is like one of the biggest miracle Cinderella stories ever in the tournament. And, you know, to have Loyola Chicago, and I don't even know what conference they play in, but, you know, you got, you know, Michigan State's out, North Carolina's out, Arizona's out. You got all of these big-time programs who have these huge recruits who are essentially supposed to be in the Final Four every year, right, based on rankings, recruiting, you know, who's supposed to be what based at the beginning of the year. And here you have in the Final Four, Loyola, Chicago, up there with three other huge programs, Michigan, Villanova, and Kansas. And then you have Loyola Chicago, who just doesn't even seem like they fit there. One, walk us through what it's been like working with them. Two, tell us anything you noticed about their work ethic or dedication or teamwork that allowed them to get to this level. And three, I guess, what do you expect from them coming up? And how can we, you know, apply some of these lessons for those of us who see ourselves as underdogs?
Yeah, man. That's deep. See, I think the first thing I'd like
don't
to say.
ask me to repeat all three questions because I already forgot them. But I just, you know what I'm
It's
saying? I
okay.
watch interview people, Karl, and they do like they have the three-parter. So I wanted to do the three-parter, and I don't remember any of the three.
Yeah, no,
I was
it's
just
okay.
like, yo, that sounded sweet, though. But we'll just have a discussion
one of them,
around number one.
Yeah, so one of them is the Missouri Valley Conference. And let me just say this to, you know, all you guys that are out there. I don't want to just say speaking, whatever you do, like, don't look at a program or an opportunity based on size. You know, like, don't go, well, I can't do that gig because it's free. And I'm not telling you to do all free gigs, but I'm saying don't look at gigs based on, you know, how much money you can make or, you know, how much attention, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be brought to you. Like, oh, I get to speak at so-and-so, so you're going to Instagram it and take pics and do all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I spoke at whatever, you know. So first and foremost, you know, just be faithful, man. Just be faithful. I'm not even going to say be faithful over few. I'm just going to say just be faithful. You know, you get an opportunity to do something, don't measure it by how big or small it is. Like, measure it based on the passion and the energy that you're going to go in with that hookup, you know? And so that's the first thing, because I'll be honest, and we didn't, like you said, we didn't have a conversation because I do so much work. I remember when I spoke to Texas Southern, and, you know, they played against Michigan State, ended up beating Michigan State. You know, I remember I spoke with Loyola 2 years ago, D-Rob, our boy D-Rob from, I guess Houston is where we first met D-Rob. Yeah, So I met D-Rob, and D-Rob asked me to come and speak, you know, to them 2 years ago. And I didn't look at it as a big or small program. Now, I know of Loyola because I'm from Chicago, and one of my little cousins actually, and I tell the story, see, I'm not going to say it on here, but the trash can story, see, I tell. Well, that was my little cousin who ran track for Loyola. So I'm very familiar with the school, you know. But when D-Rob called me, relationship, you know, my boy was like, yo, E, I'm working with this program. You know, he would go, I think he went from Houston, then he did Loyola. I think he's with Iowa State. And it might have been one other school that I'm missing, Marquette. I think maybe he was with Marquette. So wherever he's going, it's a relationship. And you remember, Karl, when we went to Houston, man, they took care of us like family. They took care of us.
No,
yeah,
for real,
I'm talking about,
yep.
bro. It was like we all went to college together, so we don't have to pay for food. They hooking us up with hotels, you know. And so it's like, yo, if my man need me to do something, I got it. So long story short, Drew Valentine started working with the team as an assistant, one of the assistant coaches. And so he
give the connection. Give the connection.
So, okay,
People that
okay.
know.
My bad. So Drew actually and his brother Denzel, they actually went to the same high school CJ and his brothers went to Sexton High School. Yeah, they did Dubs. Big Red.
And Denzel plays for the Chicago Bulls.
And Zell was with Michigan State University, and his brother was a GA for Michigan State University. So when he got his big break, relationships. That's why I say be careful, man, how you treat people, you know, on your way up, because you might have to see them on your way down, you know, or if you're going to stay up, you may have to deal with them. And so Drew went to Loyola and was like, yo, E, can you come in and do some stuff for, actually, Jalen, I got to be honest. Jalen is a part, they have their own little, you know, inside fraternity, EAC. And Jay was like, yo, Dad, you in town. Drew is with Loyola and want to know if you come by. I'm like, no doubt. I think Karl and I actually went together and Karl got some footage for me. And like I said, bro, I'm like, yo, whatever y'all need, I got y'all. Like, I don't care if you're a top program, you're not a top program. And can I be honest with you guys? Sometimes the blessings that you're looking for, they don't always come where you think they're going to come. I'm just being real. You know, sometimes like in your mind, you can map the whole thing out where you like A plus B plus C plus D equals, and it don't always work like that. You know, so I'm just going to be real. I never, but Drew would hit me. Need a video. We trying to beat the conference. We need to, I'm like, I got you, you know? And so when they called me and was like, yo, we going to the Sweet 16, we in Atlanta, would love for you to come through. I was like, bet. And I changed my whole flight schedule, you know what I'm saying? Because I was headed to Florida to do some work and I wanted to get a couple days rest. Like I'm burnt out right now. I just been everywhere. And that's probably a part of it. See, like we usually, you know, Didi and I have a schedule where we, you know, do a week in the city, but we flew there, you know, they had to fly here. And, you know, probably body got wore down. But, you know, long of it short, guys, my man said, I need you. I'm like, I got you. And whenever he would call me, I'm like, I got you because of the relationship, you know. And so, yeah, man, I'm super excited, man. And let me say this, and I hope I'm saying it right. See, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's called Blue Bloods. And that's like your Kentuckys, your Dukes, your Kansas. Like the bigger programs, right? Those bigger programs, you get an opportunity, like it's already built in that when you play for them, there are certain major cities and major hotels in the Madison Square Garden. Like straight up, I've been with Michigan State for a while. Like we playing football, we play, you know, in the Texas Stadium. You know, I'm talking about the lights, camera, action. You know, Michigan State, Madison Square Garden. I remember going to the Madison Square Garden to watch games. Bro, when you play for Loyola, see, it ain't a guarantee that you're going to see that. And I think for me, that was the biggest thing, to see these kids who, you know, from that conference, you don't expect to be in Atlanta playing in the Phillips Arena, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't expect to be in a hotel, you know, of that caliber. You know, and it was weird because I don't know if you heard that on ESPN, but they didn't get the police escort. I'm like, unbelievable. Imagine if Duke didn't get a police escort. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if Kansas, imagine if Michigan State. Like,
so what you're saying is imagine if they didn't have an insider.
Absolutely. and most of our smaller programs don't have the insider.
I can only imagine.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They don't have it, bro.
I can only imagine.
So I was just like, I was just like, that was the thing that struck me. Is like, wow, these kids are getting an experience that they will remember for the rest of their lives, you know? Like, and I remember going to the shoot around, and then I remember pregame meals, and there was no police, bruh. Like, yo, I'm walking in the hotel, you know, you had a nice amount of Loyola fans, but not like what I'm used to seeing when we go play, you know, when Michigan State play Duke or Kentucky or whoever.
Well, we had
like,
a whole city blew out.
I'm talking about the city blew out. And so it's just little things that I noticed like that, but I was so pleased that, wow, these kids are going to get to play where the Spurs play. So even if you don't make it to the NBA, you can say one day, yo, I played where the Spurs play. I played in the Phillips Arena. You know, we stayed at this hotel. You know, we flew, you know, I'm not sure if they chartered a flight in. I'm sure they did. And then the amount of money they're going to be able to make for their institution. So Yeah, that's what's really hit me. And I think what Coach said that was deep is that from day one, I don't know about the Final Four seed, but they believed. You know, he said they believed. And I remember when I asked Coach, like, Coach, for real, I'm a realist, bro. What do you want? Like, what is the goal this year? He's like, yo, E, we just want to win our conference. That's it. I just want to win the conference. And I was like, all right, cool. Drew hit me up, was like, yo, E, we're going, you know, to the tournament. If we need all 3 games in order to go to, you know, to the tourney. And I was like, so his coach was very focused. See, it wasn't like Final Four, which I hear a lot when you're dealing with bigger programs, you know what I'm saying? Because that's their goal. But he was like, we just need to win these 3 games. I was like, bet. So I gave him something for the 3 games. Then it was like, all right, we made it to the tourney. You know, we need to win this game. All right, then we need to win this game. Then it was like, yeah, we can make it to the Final Four. You know, so I saw the progression over the course of a year, and I just saw guys believe. And I think their unselfishness, man, when you heard those guys say, and again, it's just the way you decided to build a company, see, you know, but what a lot of people don't realize is that, you know, you need every personality to be great. Like, you can't be great on your own. I don't care how sweet you think you are. You're not something. You're not detailed. You're not organized. Like, you're not compassionate. I don't care what you are. I've been given a gift. I don't have all gifts. And I'm just grateful for the Creator, because he does not make one person to have all gifts, because that person will probably be selfish and not include people. So their unselfishness, like, you know, you had 3 buzzer beaters, and it wasn't that one guy. It wasn't Kobe. It wasn't MJ. It wasn't LeBron. And on any given night, where I'm talking, you know, 3 of the greatest players that ever played the game. Every night, it was somebody different that hit that 3. And the trust level that they have in each other. And I remember saying to them, like, I need you to be uncharacteristically Loyola. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all do that, y'all going to be able to blow these teams out. And I just saw them do that, you know, that last game against Kansas State. And I know everybody saying, I don't know the gentleman's name on PTI, pardon the, what is it? Pardon the interruption.
Pardon the interruption.
He was saying they maxed out. You know, he was like, this has been fun, you know, but they maxed out. It's over now. And I'm just like, yo, to watch these underdogs, like, we can't say it's over. We can't say they maxed out until they maxed out. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm saying to somebody listening today, don't let nobody tell you that you maxed out because you didn't go to the better schools. You know, I look at Candace, CJ's wife, and Candace went to Persian. You know, Persian's one of the worst schools in the Detroit, you know, in Detroit City. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those schools that if you're not from that neighborhood, you don't go over there. And Candace was able to get multiple invites to Michigan State, other schools. By the grace of God, she chose Michigan State. But she did what she had to do and got a Steve Smith scholarship and a Bill Gates, you know, scholarship. And so she took what she had and she worked it. And so I'm saying to you guys, you don't have to be a big program to be successful. You know, you don't have to necessarily come from a certain part of town. You don't have to have, you know, a certain, you know, credit score, a certain GPA. You know, like if you're willing to work hard, you know, and make sacrifices, you can enjoy whatever kind of life you want. So it's just been surreal, man, and to be a part of it. I know I don't have nothing to do with it. You know, I'm grateful to have been able to do a couple speeches, but I don't think speeches is what, you know, makes people win. But I am humble, and I'm so grateful that Coach, man, bro, listen to me, guys. I don't want to be, you always want to say things delicately, you know what I'm saying? But let me just say this. We were in one of the pre-games, and Coach entertained me for about 30 minutes, just asking me questions. I'm like, yo, y'all got the game of y'all life. They were so calm, cool, collective, bro. Like, you would think because it's their first one since 1963, you would think that they would be uptight. You think that people would be nervous. Bro, they laughing, playing, you know what I'm saying, having a good time. Coach talking to me for 30 minutes. E, who's your favorite athlete and why? All right, who's your non-athlete? And I'm just saying, my man, he on ESPN. They about to go to the Final Four. You know, I'm sure he's going to get other opportunities now. And here he is entertaining me for 30 minutes, you know, just asking me about my life. And then he said to me, yo, E, I love your videos, but bruh, that one you did after the shooting in Vegas. And I'm sitting here like, yo, my man could be getting ready. He could be doing anything. And here he is giving me his undivided attention. You know, and so I just want to say that there are those of you who are running up behind. My mother used to say, dance with the person that took you to the prom, and there are those of you who have people in your life, your mom, your dad, your counselors, your coach, whatever. You have people who have made sacrifices with you and for you, and you don't want to rock with them. You want to rock with somebody who ain't even rocking with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. See, it's kids out here. You want to rock with people that have done nothing for you. And you running up behind people when you got your mama running up behind you or your coach running up behind you or whatever, your dad, whoever. And so it taught me a lot, see, that I've been with them this year, and he took the time, and I mean sincerely, he took the time to have a one-on-one conversation with me in the midst of all his other coaches. So phenomenal experience, man. I wish him the best. Michigan, knocking Michigan off would be, it'd be history. And then between, I guess what we got, Villanova and Kansas, if they could win that one and go and win that one, I think it would be one of the greatest, upsets in D1 basketball.
Yeah, no, that was beautiful. I don't think you answered any of my questions, but I think that was great. You know what I'm saying, Karl? I didn't feel it.
You said you don't remember none of your questions.
Now he remembers, Karl. I did. As you were talking, I was waiting for the answer. I was like, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. No. So let's make this practical now, E, because we know we can go into PTI mode and people might think we're talking about basketball. We're talking about underdogs, right? And so the reality of the situation is most of the underdogs are sitting at home right now, right? Like, I love how we try to take one story, right? We take one, like you took Candace and we take Loyola. But in reality, you're talking about 1 out of a million, right? Like that's not the norm, right? It's the exception, not the rule. If it was the rule, we wouldn't even be talking about Loyola because we'd be like, what do you mean? It happens every year. But there's something special that comes from a Candace, a Loyola, or, Eric Thomas, people who have been put in these drastic situations against all odds and, have to now make this monumental leap up there to be, with the greats. So there's got to be insecurities. There's got to be fears. Like, I'm sure there was some point Loyola looked across the court and was like, whoa, okay, they look a little bigger than us, a little stronger than us. We know who their head coach is. Y'all never heard of our head coach. As underdogs in life,
that's
right?
what was crazy, though. See, that's what blew my mind, Karl, was they didn't have that, And what I saw was not necessarily a chip on their shoulder, but, we played against y'all in high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were all a part of, some kind of AAU team. When you got the letter to go there, we didn't get the letter to go there. So it was almost like here go my chance. You know what I'm saying? Here's my chance. I don't get as many as you get, but here's my chance. And I think when I, just listen to Coach.
Yeah, but I'm saying everybody had that, same probably like attitude or swagger. So I'm trying to identify like the things that make that thing that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people who didn't get recruited by Duke and was probably pissed off and got blew out by 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm trying to find that special ingredient.
I said the special ingredient for them is, you heard me. They played as a team. See, they was unselfish. They knew they couldn't get it done as individuals. They knew, that they had to get it done as a group. And let's make it practical. When I was at Oakwood and then when I came to Michigan State, I watch people who follow me and they do it on their own and then they we're gonna get a team as we go. I never did that. I started with a team. I wouldn't move without a team. I was just talking about this trip and I was like, I'm burnt out. And I was like, E, why are you burnt out? One, it was 15 years ago, probably longer, but I realized that I was burnt out because today I did five sessions today. I did 4 yesterday. Well, when I was in New Jersey, I wasn't burnt out because we were together. You know what I'm saying? It was all of us. Everybody was shifting, driving, telling stories, laughing, getting each other food. It was a team. So I was wondering today, I know you get old, but for real, what is it for real? And it's you was on a solo. You know what I'm saying? And when you're on a solo, it's kind of difficult because there's certain lenses that you don't see from. You always sweep when you're looking at yourself in the mirror, but you don't see the bald spot in the back of your head. You feel me? Because you can't see the back of your head, But when you have a group that's able to say, E, that's good, but you need to work on that. You need to work on that. So when I look at them, I look at, they play as a team. It wasn't I'm going to show you. It was, we gonna show you. It's not I'm a hero and I'm gonna put up 30. No, it was, we're going to put up whatever we can put up. We're going to play defense. We're going to do what we need to do. And I think that's the one thing, if there's one downfall for people that follow me, they try to do this thing on their own. And I don't know what this generation, like, I don't really know, bro. This generation, like, they got to prove something, that they could do it by themselves. And even if you felt like you was doing it by yourself, see, it's no way possible because somebody gave birth to you. Somebody raised you for a couple years, whatever. You went to school and somebody taught you. But this generation is fixated on this. I did it my way. I did it by myself. And if there's one thing I realize about that team is they played as a team. They use all their resources. Yo, I don't know if y'all heard this stat, Karl, but this is the first team to make it to the Final Four without a dunk. They didn't get one dunk, Karl.
Yo, and I mean not one.
They didn't get one dunk.
They did more. I text E. He was at the game.
That.
Now, fair foul, my wife, I didn't even have the heart to ask my wife if he texted me right before the game. He was like, yo, I got an extra ticket. I was like, no, my friend. I am in family land and don't plan on coming out no time soon. I've been on the road the last few weekends. But Karl, when I tell you, I never seen a team do so many reverse layups.
Layups, yeah.
Bruh,
It was a sequence. It was
I
like
text
4 or 5
E. I was like,
back-to-back.
E, they got the patent on the reverse layup. These boys that hit more reverse layups in one game than I've seen in my entire life. I'm like, unbelievable.
I thought I was
you know
watching
why?
Hoosier.
Because the rim acts as a defender in that case.
Defender,
and so when you smaller and you can't hop like that, the rim becomes an extra little screener. And so, man, they used it to perfection.
They play
And I'm glad
basketball,
you said.
see?
Yeah. No, I'm glad you said that. And for my people out there listening, like, yo, we going somewhere. Again, they focused on the gifts that they had. They focused on what they did sweet. They didn't look at the other team and go, oh man, they 6'8", can alley-oop dunk from half court. They didn't like find themselves fixated on that. They found themselves fixated on what are we great at. And I you guys heard me talk about it all the time, the conferences and everywhere else. You know, even the book I wrote for Trey. Like, what's your superpower? Just worry about that. Like, stop looking over there at their superpower like, oh, man, they look so tall and athletic. We got the reverse layup on I'm talking about patented. Like, that's ours. Go with that. Go with the reverse layup. Because guess what, though? Let me tell you where a lot of people go wrong. Y'all going to feel me on this. Let me tell you what the reverse layup is not. The reverse layup is not sexy. You know, they say chicks dig the long ball. They do not dig the single. You done hit the little single. Bink, and you run to first base. That is not sweet. Ain't nobody checking for that. You can't win homecoming king like that. You can't be the bell of the ball like that. Like, you literally, it is the most basic play. It was like the second, besides the chest pass, the reverse layup was the second thing Dr. James Naismith ever taught. You know what I'm saying? It's not sexy. And because kids now, we a Sports Center generation, right? We watch highlights. And so you looking at E.T. going, oh my God, he's so dope. He could speak in front of thousands of people and da-da-da, if I could only be E.T. Like, nah, what's your reverse layup? Like, find your reverse layup. And I think people struggle with that. And they look at other people's skill set and go, man, that looks so cool. Man, I wish I could do that. Man, that gift looks sweet. And you forget to, embrace your own gift. And when you neglect your own gift, I think that's how you end up getting put out in the first round. Yeah. That's how you end up getting, you know what I mean, put out quickly. And they've embraced, I'm telling them, when they didn't look like they was remotely apologizing for them reverse layups. I wasn't at the game. But it looked like they was very pleased with the reverse layups.
Loving it, see? And then hitting the three, not trying to live off the three ball. But when it was time for the three ball, you know what I'm saying? It was on the three ball. And let me say this.
And here's the crazy thing, too. Let me hold your thought, E. They did not have their best game ever. It wasn't like they just shot lights out and couldn't miss, and it was like, oh my God, like, they was really hooping. Yeah. Like, they were hooping back and forth. Buckets, they were up, came back on, they took the lead again. I'm like, yo, this ain't no fluke. I think that was the thing that really, boggled my mind as I'm watching. I'm like, yo, this ain't no mismatch. Like, they look like they belong. Like, it wasn't like they was just throwing up Hail Mary. You remember that movie, Angels in the Outfield? Where it was just like, you know what I'm saying? The Angels scooping them up, they was making plays. Like, no, this was like legit.
I mean, you look at Nevada.
I'm over here taking notes, E. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm over here taking
just
notes.
Was killing it, y'all. I just thought Nevada had they was like video game three-pointers,
I don't know if y'all saw, I'm trying to remember if I saw it after the game or where I saw it, but they interviewed, back to the team thing, E, they interviewed the 3 guys that made the last shots. Yeah. And all 3 of them said the exact same thing. He's like, oh, any one of the dudes on the team could have made that. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, like they said I think it might have been identical words. They showed like just the clips back to back. And they showed 3 different people saying, oh yeah, I made the shot, but man, you give any of our guys that shot, they could have made that shot. And I was just like, ooh, ooh. Yeah, no, that's crazy. No, seriously, I forgot I was on the podcast. See, I was writing notes when you was talking. What's your reverse layup? I'm over here jotting notes down.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, and here's the deal. You have to be careful scouting. Like when you're watching E.T. or, you know, Les Brown or Tony Rock, like you got to be careful. It's okay to scout, but you don't want to scout your identity out of the process. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what a lot of people go wrong. It's like you admire people so much that now you jocking them, you sweating them. You know what I'm saying? And it's what's the word? See, it's sickening. Because the worst thing in the world, you remember when you was in high school and there was a dude trying to be cool, you know what I'm saying? NWA had this is my era, NWA had the Jerry curl, and you got cats trying to look like NWA. It's like, yo, the reason why they were sweet is because they were the first ones to do it. You know what I'm saying? That came out of their experience. You trying to look like LL Cool J, you can't do it. I think that's where people go wrong. It's like, yeah, scout. What are your guys doing? What are the girls doing? What's LeBron doing? He cutting his, you know, Instagram off doing the playoffs. You know, what is he doing? But not, I'm gonna do what LeBron doing. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I see LeBron making sacrifices. Oh, okay, what kind of sacrifices do I make? Not, I want to do like LeBron. Because if you're trying to be like somebody else, bro, you an imitator.
You already failed. I'm saying you already failed.
Because you're not you know. But I'm going to say, C said something deep about you looking at E speaking to thousands. Like, yo, C is so crazy.
I'm just saying that's sexy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it's hard to embrace your skill set when it's not sexy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you don't
like,
think
because you don't think you can win with that. You thinking if you're not dunking from half court,
right?
You like, we suck. I'm like, nah, that ain't necessarily the
reverse
truth.
Layups. Yeah, your mom can't be like, oh, my baby did 5 reverse layups.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you said,
I promise you, the reverse layup has never made Sports Center, bro. Never made top 10 with a regular reverse layup. And I'm talking about regular. We ain't talking about the LeBron reverse where you like go in the air, hold it, clutch it around, spin it off the backboard. We talking about some basic throwback YMCA reverse layups.
YMCA, Boys and Girls Club layup. That's what that was on.
I text E and Jalen. They was together. I text them in a group text. And I said, I have never seen a reverse layup so deadly. Bro, it was like death by 1,000 mosquito bites.
They was killing the battle with the reverse layups. And it was so funny because here's the deal, see, consistency, y'all. The basics consistently, they didn't know what to do. As athletic as those dudes were, you know what I'm saying?
They was like, what in the devil? We ain't seen the reverse layup.
They didn't see the reverse layup. And so they started to dribble from the top of the key and just went straight in with the dribble, and they couldn't stop them. And what is, like Karl said, what is your reverse layup? But here's what I want to say, and it's not sexy, see, but if you notice the last few days, what I did different, I've never done this before, and I was like, yo, E, for real, you got to make impact now. I literally broke all of my teachers up, and I love Principal Wendy, like she, next level. So we had all the first grade teachers together. Then the second one, all second grade, you know, then all third. You feel me? See, so I might have had a room just with 8 people in it. And then another session, I might only have 5. Another one, I remember one, the smallest one, I only had 4 people. But I remember, wanting to do the 10,000. I can't stand talking to 7,000 people no more. I don't even know what they're getting from it. I don't even know what to talk about. It's 7,000 people in the room. But when I'm talking to 4 people, see, I can look all 4 of them in their eyes. You feel me? All 4 of them. I can hear from all 4 of them. We have enough time to talk about the challenges. We have enough time to talk about, their strengths, And so yesterday and today, I just was in the room all day with just 4 or 5 teachers, and really challenging them in the way, that maybe some of them had never been challenged before. So really think it through. Yeah, I want to be a speaker, but maybe you don't need to talk to thousands. Maybe you don't need to talk to 10 people. Maybe you only need to talk to 20 people. I don't know. But when you're watching E.T. and a Les Brown or whoever you're watching, and you're like, in order for me to be great, I got to be them. It's the ops. Like, where some of y'all wearing T-shirts and gym shoes, you look so awkward. Like, for real, you look awkward. Put on your doggone blazer and your little shirt. Like, just be you. I'm very comfortable with the T-shirt. That's a part of my culture. Being from Michigan, you know that most of the workers in our communities didn't go to work with shirt and ties on. I mean, it was Ford, GM, and Chrysler. So, you know, they probably had on overalls or some, you know, boots, but they were in a, you know, a working environment, and they needed to dress the part. So I didn't really grow up seeing people dressed like Obama. Now I saw, you know, I did see other people. I'm not gonna get into, you know, some of the people that dressed up that were in our communities, but it definitely didn't look like the Obama look. You know, so be true to who you are. Be comfortable.
It was heading to
in your
court.
skin.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Heading to court, man, having to meet with the judge. Yep.
See, you just had a talk with one of our staff members this week. I got the second hand from it.
I love
and
it.
he was just like, yo, I like CJ just opened my eyes
You know,
to
I'm
what
not
my
allowed to talk to
superpower-
him as a group anymore. So now I got the jab hook on one-on-one now.
Yeah,
Well, remind me,
but-
I don't even remember what you're talking about.
No, you just did this, and you told one of our staff members, like, yo, your superpower is not this. Your superpower is being able to operate differently. And I ain't gonna go into it, you know, to call them out like that. But literally, see, it was like an eye opener. Like, we had a conversation after, and he was like, yo, like I kind of know it, but like when C said that, like I get it now. And now you've given him like a lane that he didn't see before. It's like, yo, I can do this. And I was like, absolutely. Like, we've been teasing you about how you know, do things the whole time, and it never clicked in the same way. But now that you get it, like, dude, let's pimp this thing. Like, it's your superpower now. Let's use that to the fullest
praise
potential.
God. E, can I come back in the staff meetings now? You know what I'm saying? Can I come back in?
Hey, that's
Karl,
only one, E. We got to get a couple more.
Karl, you worked in the lab for years, Karl. I don't know if one experiment is
Yeah,
enough.
we got a couple
You know what
more
I'm saying?
samples. It's too small a
Okay,
sample
all
size.
right. Well, hey, I'll
Small
try
sample
again.
size, see.
Yeah, no, I get I can turn green quick, but no, I got it, man. And y'all should shout out to Breathe You, man. Y'all should have been on the call. When did we do the March Madness call? Last week?
Yeah.
Or the week before, one of the two, man. But y'all missed it because we talked about kind of the same thing, but we went in depth about, you know, how to survive as an underdog, man. And I really do think that, you know, there can be more underdogs that rise to the top. Let me ask you this, E, do you still see yourself as an underdog?
No questions asked. No questions
Don't just
asked.
say that to say it, but like
No,
seriously.
I do. Yeah, and I say it just because I feel like.
But how can you be an underdog if you type in Google?
If you got an
best
insider.
motivational. If you type you got insider. You ain't parking your own car.
Well, I
you
had to
got
park my own car
screwdrivers
here.
on
Yeah.
command.
I'm at the embassy. You think any other the number one motivational speakers ever went back to the embassy suites with the free breakfast, boy, with about 1,000? That's my only problem with the free breakfast. See, it's got to be 1,000 people down there getting free breakfast.
Oh, no
All
doubt.
of them are not staying at the hotel. All of those people are not staying
you
at
know
the
they
hotel.
looking at E like, E, what's up? You at the embassy suites?
Oh, man. I'm talking about what a night to remember. But this is why I feel like we're still underdogs. And I don't say this, you know, for anybody to feel sorry for us or, you know, pity or anything, but some of the top companies, they still don't call us. Like, we still haven't gotten hey, guys, I see the work that you're doing. You know, we want to put $50,000, $60,000 in the work you're doing in schools. You know, I feel like, we still out here. We killing the game, but I feel like we out here on our own. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have no sponsor. You the kid, that team in Chicago, that baseball team, little league team, or team that, you know, they don't have a sponsor, but they still went to the World Series. You know what I'm saying? They had to take the pop bottles and cash the pop bottles in and knock on doors and be at the corner before people get on the freeway and say we selling water. Like, to me, that's still where we are. Like, we don't have sponsors. We don't have corporations calling us saying we want to help you guys sponsor the work that you're doing. We still out here, grinding. Shout out to AT&T, my boy Tehran. This is the first time we've had, a company show up, and show us love. Sean, of course, turned us on to Tehran, and now Tehran's like, I'm in Florida. Let me, do what we can for you guys, and hopefully this will turn into something. But the reality is, I'm diamond with Delta. Delta never called and said, yo, let's give you some, some frequent flyer miles or some flights, to go in some of these impoverished cities and work with our kids. Coca-Cola never called us like, look, here go $500,000 or $1 million. Let's go in and see what we can do to help. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I still feel like we underdogs because we got here because of the grind we put in. We don't necessarily have a network or support like other people who are doing what we do.
Karl, what do you think?
Yeah, for sure. Well, the thing that impresses me the most, and I'll kind of come back, is the reason why we're doing what we're doing is like I said, like he just said, he's still back in schools. It's not like we're trying to get a sponsor to go to corporate. You know what I'm saying? It's not like we're trying to get a sponsor to blow up.
Right, to do an event,
So,
a big event in the
to
city.
do a big event.
Right.
Yeah, we're trying to get a sponsor to do things that help society. And to me, that's why I definitely agree with E, because it's like, yo, if we were trying to do it to blow up and make money or something like that, cool. You might not be an underdog. You're just trying to blow up kind of thing. Like, you already made it to a certain level and you're trying to, capitalize. But when you see, so here's the big picture. When you see all the other people around, I've seen people doing way less than us get sponsorship. Like, let me just say it like that. I've seen people doing way less get sponsorship, and we still haven't. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've seen people way less than us get, and not that we need this, but I'm saying get gear, get all kinds of stuff, and we haven't gotten that. But what we're doing, to me, is deeper than probably 9/10 of the stuff that I'm seeing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're impacting kids, we're impacting teachers, like, we're impacting the next generation. Everybody's complaining about millennials. Well, the reason is nobody's putting, not nobody, but not as much energy is being put into them as it should. You know what I'm saying? And the reality is, this is the future of the country. It's the future of everything. It's the future. So if nobody's pouring into that, like, you know what I'm saying, what's going to happen? So with that regard, I definitely have to agree. We're still underdogs because we're still doing that single-handedly. It ain't nobody trying to help with that.
I'll tell you who is trying to help.
No
Organifi trying to help.
Organifi trying to make sure we stay all
Y'all
in
say
the
what
game.
y'all want about everybody else. Organifi is trying to help, man. Check it out. As you guys know, man, you faithful listeners to this podcast, man, we rock with Organifi heavy. The reason he's sick right now, no Organifi.
No Organifi.
Got caught on the road slipping. So, man, we want to give a special shout out to Organifi, man. You already know the deal. The green juice, superfood, man, the red. Karl, are you doing the red juice still? I know I tried the red juice. I love it. They got a new one, Karl. Is that the
gold joint? Yep, they got a gold joint. Yeah, I haven't tried that one yet. I'm gonna see if I get some this week and get on
yeah,
that
I called you earlier this week and told you to reorder me some. But we are off and rolling with Organifi. Listen, man, if you want to feel better, man, more energy, and just something that's good for you, man, something you can do every day. Right? I told my wife, man, she juicing like she juiced today. And she was over there with 100 vegetables and all of that. And I just grabbed my Organifi and dumped it right in. And I was like, good luck with that. And, and nothing against juicing like that, man. But it's just hard to, you want to, in my life, I look for things that I can be consistent with. Something I can do every single day. Like I didn't want to start trying to juice. I didn't want to start juicing and say, all right, cool, I'm going to just, juice every day. And then guess what? The kids running late, they yelling, fighting, can't get them out the house, then I just, I'm not going to do it today. I can literally use Organifi every single day, couple times a day. Just open the packet, pour it in the water, shake it up, and I'm ready to go, man. The best part about it, it tastes good, all right? It is not bad at all compared to what you think it would be for like a green drink, right? You just think it'd be disgusting, man. I've been letting all my friends who come over try it. Everybody's just been amazed and impressed and ordering it. So check out Organifi, man, ORGANIFI. .com. Use the promo code SUCCESS, all right, to receive 20% off. Again, Organifi.com. Use our promo code SUCCESS to receive 20% off. Hey, you said something. Let's go from an underdog to can we call him an overdog? I don't know what you want to call him. But I don't, and excuse the sports segment, but man, you said the name, and it just, I got to acknowledge greatness. LeBron James has been on an absolute tear. He has been in the league 15 years.
Yep.
And my man is jumping from the free throw line, dunking on everybody. I've never seen anything like it. And I actually read an article. I sent it to Josh and Jamal today, I think. But it talked about how meticulous he is about taking care of his body. And I think that's why I'm glad you taking care of your throat like that. Listen to this. They said LeBron spends $1.5 million a year just taking care of his body. He knows within like a half a pound where he's supposed to be. He's got trainers with him at all times, one for stretching, one for back, one for, just everything. He's got a specialized van that he travels in, that got like, I don't know if it's got oxygen in there. He's got like a hyperbaric chamber that he sleeps in to get extra oxygen to his muscles. Like, I have never seen anything like it.
Or heard anything like it.
Never heard of anything like it. My man takes such meticulous care of his body. And I just wanted to acknowledge it. I don't know if y'all got any thoughts on it, but I'm just watching this man as, at a time when even the greats of the great, MJ, all of them, Kobe, where they all start kind of playing a different style of game. They couldn't quite jump as high. They didn't have the same explosiveness. Like, this dude is literally going crazy, dunking on everybody, looking young as ever. And I just had to acknowledge it. I'm like, wow, I've never seen anything like it. And I haven't watched many games, but just the highlights. My man has 17 assists the other day, Karl, and 0 turnovers. So, like I said,
that's huge.
he's
0
better than
turnovers,
Jordan. And the debate is over. No, I'm just kidding. I do not want to argue that. I just
Hey,
want to
let me. So you just took me somewhere else, though. See, like in terms of you just took me somewhere else. Eat at 3 o'clock in the morning, like. There's no way you're gonna be LeBron if you practicing like regular. Yeah. Like let me just you know what I'm saying? Like you listen to my man, the best in the league, still spending over $1 million to take care of his body, to take care of his health, to do this, and you think training 2 or 3 times a week and doing a little bit of like you're gonna get there. Like I'm and again, we're not talking about sports. Please don't hear nothing about sports. I'm not talking about sports at all. Like the best of the best, he is still getting up at 3. I'm a little behind him. Let's not say how long, but
3-ish.
just a
say
little bit.
3-ish.
Yeah, just 3-ish. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm being real. Like I'm getting all the little messages and emails that come in now. Like everybody, like I'm a speaker and I do this. But I'm like, I want y'all to hear what CJ just said. What y'all know about E? Like getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning, spending $1.5 million on your body. Like it ain't no game. Like if that's who you competing against, like you might not ever be able to sleep. Let me just say it like that. You might never sleep again because like if you're gonna be on that level, you might never sleep.
And I don't know if there's a correlation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a scientist, so please forgive me. But what I do know,
Karl is he'll verify your facts.
Please. What I do know is. All of Golden State hurt. That's what I do know. So I don't really know. They might be doing the same thing he doing, but they probably just got started, so maybe it ain't kicked in yet. I don't know. But I know we got rib problems, we got MCL strains, we got flu and, pelvis contusions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the whole squad pretty much, I think somebody thumb messed up, and if it's true, I mean, I would believe that the reports are true. I don't think people would just be trying to take rest to get ready for the playoffs, So if it is true, you look at that team, the Golden State Warriors, that they're going up, LeBron's going up against. Like he's doing everything he has to do to be able to beat this giant, and he didn't back off. He ain't quit. He didn't say, it's not fair. They got a super team. He never said that. I mean, he did say they have a super team, but it wasn't like on no victim stuff. Yeah, it was. They got a super team, and I'm gonna need to take my game to the next level. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need to eat different, whatever. And I just there's so many people, man, just got so many excuses or good reasons for why, you know what I'm saying? They not where they're supposed to be. Just the super team, they got KD, no. He like, okay, let me get the van with the oxygen. Let me get the oxygen tank. Okay, let me change my diet. Okay, let me put myself on this exercise regimen. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so much respect, man. Like you said, been in the league for this long of a time, and he is so dedicated to winning these championships that he's spending $1.5 million, man, to make it happen, man. Unbelievable, incredible. And he has to go down as one of the greats ever, for real. What we're seeing right now is just, I mean, I've been watching him, like, I'm talking about body bags. His folks, they've been body bags when he just come out, and I'm talking about 3 people at a time. He coming in the lane like a train, and it's incredible to see.
Yeah, man, it really is. And and he's a bigger dude. Bigger dudes tend to break down a little quicker.
Knees,
Yeah, just because your body takes a punishment for bro. I'm older. I'm like barely older than LeBron, bro. I got up off the chair to do the podcast, my knees cracked. I was like, Lord have mercy. And I ain't been doing nothing for the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been. I'm on the treadmill. I'm working out little light weights here and there, and my knees cracked all to be damned. And I ain't hooped to 1 ounce in the last 10 years. It's unbelievable just watching him, man. He really is incredible. And it's incredible to watch him go about his business off the court as well, man. Y'all know I'm a huge LeBron fan. My son loves LeBron, and it's somebody who I'm proud to have him look up to. It's so crazy,
your son don't love. Let me correct you. Your son does not love LeBron yet. You beat your son into loving LeBron.
Oh, well,
now.
That's the only time we turn on the game is when LeBron's playing. So, hey, game recognized game. I told y'all, man, my son really has a hard time like from what's real and what's not. Like, and I'm serious. Like, cause E like will have the Wingstop commercial, which by the way, they switched the Wingstop commercial.
Yeah.
It's like a longer version now. I don't know if y'all
It's a
peeped.
longer one. Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's so funny because like we'll be sitting there and like E's voice will come on like during the game. And then he'll see LeBron, and then he'll see like E, or we'll go in the car and he'll hit a radio. So like Trey thinks like I know LeBron. Like so he'll be like, hey Dad, like he think LeBron could just walk through the front door at any time. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean even Toby, right? Like he sees Toby, you know, and just like you know people around us. Obviously he goes to the games and. You know, when E's with us, we get the insider look. You know, he's taking pictures with the players, and you know, I'm just like, wow, like his world. You know, his worldview. I think I talked about it before, but it's just crazy to watch him. Like he's so young, and I want to maybe next podcast we'll have a conversation about a conversation he and I had. But just man, it's just incredible to see watch his worldview kind of change in his lane. Because when I was young, I was like, it was either like TV or like. You was right in front of me, you know what I mean? But like, I think those worlds are getting kind of blended for him now just to watch, obviously he knows E's voice, like the back of his hand. So we'll be sitting there watching LeBron and then 2 seconds later, E's voice is on TV. And I think he's just like, whoa. So anyway, let's see. Any announcements before Ask ET?
All right, before you go there real quick, let me introduce our sponsor, Health IQ. Health IQ is a life insurance agency that uses science and data to secure lower rates on life insurance for health-conscious people, including runners, cyclists, strength trainers, vegans, and more. Research has shown that runners who persist in running over an average of 5.9 years, they actually have a 29% lower risk of mortality and a 50% lower risk of death from heart disease. So why not benefit from your healthy lifestyle? The great news is that 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance, and these savings are exclusive to Health IQ. Health IQ can save our customers up to 33% because physically active people have a 56% lower risk of heart disease, a 20% lower risk of cancer, and a 58% lower risk of diabetes compared to people who are inactive. Like saving money on your car insurance for being a good driver, Health IQ saves you money on your life insurance for living a health-conscious lifestyle. Learn more and get a free quote at healthiq.com/success. To see if you qualify, get your free quote today. Again, it's healthiq.com/success, or you can mention the promo code success when you talk to a Health IQ agent.
Yeah, we're going to announce, I think Tay said we're going to announce Jamaica. We'll have the information for you guys on Jamaica so you can get signed up early. Jamaica's going to go fast because we already have a ton of people from the cruise who already signed up for Jamaica. So when we announce it, I suggest you get on it pretty quick because we're going to sell out. I think the capacity is a little lower too in terms of what we can offer, but I'm excited
we
about
down at the cruise, right?
Yeah,
Cruise
I'm
got
excited
room for
about
days.
Jamaica, man. We are definitely a couple things. We definitely got to do the white party again. Definitely got to do the talent show again.
The talent show, no doubt.
The talent show was hilarious, and y'all can probably guess who was Simon Cowell on the couch. I wasn't letting up off nobody. I'm like, no, I'm not feeling it. I get out of one. He was giving everybody threes in typical Flamingo fashion. He was giving out 3s and 5s to make everybody feel good. I was like,
Yeah, I'm
listen
talking about, I was
here.
people singing gospel. I'm like, how is he giving them a 1?
Oh,
they
one.
lifted Jesus up.
And the Lord is not pleased. The Lord is not pleased.
Hey, this is not your superpower.
This is not your superpower, and this is not your reverse layup, and the Lord is not pleased with this foolishness. Please, go back. I mean, they did try, though. They did try. I give
And that's
it to
what
them.
I was giving them. I gave them an honorary. You know what I'm saying?
E for the
Like,
effort.
Oh, man.
E
Look,
for effort.
what did Maya say? I don't clap for kids who
Fish
can't
that
sing
swim.
and fish that can swim. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that'll be, Boston coming to the East Coast, take control. May 20th.
May 20th.
Make sure you rock with us on
where
that.
will we be in the playoffs? Where's the playoffs going to be at that time? Will Boston be playing during that time?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
So when do they
maybe.
start? When do they
I
start?
think the playoffs start in April.
Okay.
But if Kyrie ain't back, they might be.
Right, it might be early.
You know what I'm saying?
Where is Kyrie?
Yeah, Kyrie hurt. So when do the Pistons start in the playoffs? About that. I thought we got Blake Griffin. I thought it turns out not so much. So anyway, maybe the Pistons want to give us a call. Y'all see what we did with Loyola. Hello, anybody watching? You know what I'm saying? Now, if we get the Pistons to the chip, you might well retire for real.
Yeah, it's on.
Because they are struggling, to say the least. All right. I always got to watch what I say because he like friends with these people, so I can't dog them out like I want to. Because they be like, I heard the podcast. I was clowning. Hey, I'm not going to say which athlete.
C was clowning. C was clowning.
But look, for sure, I don't care. I'm the people's champ. You know what I'm saying? We the outsiders. I ain't no insider. So they don't know me. I don't know them, so I'm going to dog them out. But what was I going to say? Oh, I'll never forget. We had, it was one professional athlete. I ain't gonna say his name because he got relationships, but he was talking about how he was great in college, but then he got to the league and struggled heavily.
I said Reggie Bush. I said I ain't studying Reggie. So I told the truth.
So he was like, yeah, in college he was the man, but when you step up in competition, it ain't so easy. Look at Reggie Bush. So he did this whole speech about Reggie Bush not being as good in college. I mean, in the pros, he was in college. So we were working with, I don't know who we were working with. Is it the Lions?
It was the Lions,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Reggie Bush was like, hey, man, love all the videos, you know what I'm saying? But, hey, I do got to say something. And he looked at it and he was like, yo, you ain't had to bust me out like that. I heard you on the video talking about I ain't as good as the pros as I am in college. That boy, he was like, oh, no doubt I did. Yep. It'll give you a little motivation. That's it. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's all I was trying to do, bro. He played for the Lions. I just needed a little motivation, bro. That's all.
Yeah. He definitely came up to E and was like, I heard that player. Shout out to him for being a gorilla, though, and just coming straight up
no doubt.
And asking about it, because he was going to try to act like he never said it. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot I said it, bro.
Yeah.
There's
all
a
right,
couple
Mike
of those incidents. Yeah.
Let's go. Mike in Sarasota says, CJ, you're the best for sharing that negative feedback. Laughed so hard, almost fell off the road. No question. Just wanted to say you guys rock. Chase in Montana said, love the podcast. Karl, was there ever a moment ET or CJ did something that made you want to quit?
Oh, which one?
I was about to say, that's a loaded question.
Oh, which one? You're trying to get me in trouble now. You're trying to get me in trouble.
Yeah, Thursday.
I'll answer it my most politically correct way. I'm trying to keep my job around here. No, but again, we talked about the animals, man. So I remember a couple of staff meetings for real. And when E goes there, he goes there. You got CJ stay there. So you talk about the whole gorilla thing. Like, it leave a taste in your mouth that's just like terrible. I'm just saying, and I know it's not personal, but I'm still listening to it. So we get off one of these calls where, everything is going crazy and we ain't doing this and we ain't doing that. And I'm like, yo, you got to check yourself. Like, I had to, just kind of had that introspective, like, yo, this stuff you could do better. Yeah. So there's credit to what they're saying, but dang, did they have to talk to me like that? Like, did they really have to say it like that? So just being real, like, we had to deal with some real conversations, and hearing it is never easy. But on my end, like, dude, you either mature and get with it or leave. Like, what's the other options? I ain't got nothing else. Like, I ain't got no resume put aside. So mature and let's get with it.
Hey, that's the thing that always kills me, though, Karl. Like, when I get off the phone, I never feel like it was that bad. And then people call like, yo, C just killed me. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, I don't know. It's so weird, because I promise you, like, I'm not getting off the phone feeling like, oh, I just went hard on somebody. I get off the phone like, okay, that went rather
Great
well.
conversation.
Great conversation. Right, but then they'll call Karl crying. I'm like, what in the devil? I'm Karl. I'm like, I don't even remember what I said. So I'm working on a softer, gentler approach, and he's gonna school me on how to become a flamingo. Just everything is cotton candy and peaches and cream. Let's see. Kellen in LA said, hey guys, no question. Just wanted to say thank you for putting me on Toby's music. What an incredible artist. I'm listening every day.
Sir.
Hey, shout out to Toby, man. I don't know if you guys saw Toby. Work. Yeah, we've talked about him on the podcast before.
He probably don't listen to the podcast, though. Toby probably don't listen to the podcast.
He better not be. He better be working. But no, he is our recording artist, man, who has just been phenomenal. He was on Sway in the morning, and actually, I don't even know if I told y'all, if y'all seen it, but he was actually on Sway again at South by Southwest. He was on the Sway stage and performed live for a crowd there and just been crushing it. So, yeah, no, thanks for that, man. Shout out to Toby. Cherie in Houston said, E.T., I'm starting a business with my sister. Any suggestions on how to navigate the biz relationship with the personal? Prayer.
Yeah, I'm just saying, off the cuff, I just think you need to be as transparent as possible. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to hold no feelings. Just like, yo, for real, these are the boundaries. This is what I'm looking for you to do. This is what I'm not looking for you to do. Let's separate our friendship and our relationship from business. You know, it's going to be some stuff said. It's going to be some stuff done. And it can't affect our relationship. And if it does, then we got to sever this we got to sever this business, you know, family relationship, you know, family for life. We don't have to do business together, you know, so you give it a shot, you know, do some measurement assessing. After a year, if it's tough, you know, you guys may need to part ways. If it's working, continue to go for it. But whatever you do, don't lose family over business.
Okay.
Hey, tell them take Chris assessment so y'all know who each other, you know, who you are.
Yeah.
So it'll make sense when they, you know, when they talk like that kind of stuff. You know, it's not
I'm going to say this. Have y'all started the company yet? If not, just don't start. Dissolve.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough.
Let's see, two more. Xavier in South Africa said, what's the hardest part about doing a new podcast every week?
We all over well, I shouldn't say we. A lot of times I'm all over the place, you know, and it's just tough that time to, you know, coordinate or synchronize our calendars.
Yeah, we was just talking about that before when we started the podcast. Like, yo, it comes like every week. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it is every week. And so it's funny because right before we hit record, I was like, hey, how long y'all think we're gonna do this podcast? He said 5 years. So we're on year 2. So hopefully y'all just enjoy this for the next 3 years. But no, in all seriousness, I was just like, yo, it is crazy to do something like this every week, which I think would be a lot easier if we were in the same space, you know, all day, every day, because we could just be like, okay, cool, here's when we dedicate to doing it. But he is running all over the world, saving the world, doing his thing with the babies and taking care of them. So that can be a little challenging just finding the time to do it. But it's always fun, man, to catch up and be able to provide, you know, this insight into our world for you guys. You know, when we started the podcast, you know, I think E and I were doing it together alone, and Karl was just recording. And I remember when Karl would be like, I realized we couldn't do it without Karl. Right, Karl sitting over there quiet, and I might be like, hey, Karl, you remember? Because I'm like, Karl's in the room. Clearly, he knows everything we're talking about. And it got to the point where I was just asking Karl so much, and I was like, yo, you might as well just be on the podcast. So, like, if you go back to the first few, you know, it was just me and E, and then Karl slowly but surely started coming in. But I think the hardest part, I agree with E, would just be, you know, finding the time to do it every week, because the conversation flows naturally because it's our life, you know. And I think, I think the funnest part is just being able, it kind of gives us an accountability measure to make sure we're catching up with each other like we should as well. So it's like I don't have to talk to Karl because I know I'm going to talk to him, you know, tomorrow on the podcast. So we can keep the rest of the stuff kind of business, and I can hear about, you know, family and those other things when we get on the podcast. So for sure. All right, last one here. And this one is, I'm going to let E touch this one. Jaron in St. Louis said, hey guys, love the podcast. He said, my question is, how do you guys let go of a big ego? I'm terrible at letting go of my ego, especially when it comes to my marriage. I have a tough time apologizing even when I know I'm wrong. I was raised to think that a woman has her place.
Ouch.
Let me start again. Jaron in St. Louis. It's not CJ in Atlanta. Okay? He said, I was raised to think that a woman has her place. It seemed to work for my mother and father, but it's not working for my wife and I. You guys also seem to contradict that statement quite a bit. I guess what I'm saying is I'm willing to change, but I don't know how to change. Oh, you doggone skip, because in our marriages, a man has his place. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's the other way around.
I got a gorilla, so I definitely know what my place is.
I thought that was a deep question when I read it, because basically he's saying, you know, this is the environment I come from, and he trying to recreate that environment. You might got one of them new age wives though. Yeah, this ain't the Brady Bunch player. You might want to update your thinking. But anyway, E, I'll let you take that. That sounds like a veteran marriage question.
Yeah, no, I think you come in, to the game with a certain, culture. Like there's a way you think. And if that culture that you have, that's why I think it's important, man. Like people gonna laugh at me like, you stupid old school. But my girl from Detroit, you know what I'm saying? She from Michigan. So I just think the more you have in common, like the easier it is. I'm just being real. Like, we all come from, Didi and I both come from that working class family. We all went to, not the best schools in the world. Didi's mom wasn't married. My mom got, had me, when she was, 18. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of similarities, and so I think when you're in a relationship, it makes it a lot easier, right? So I'm gonna be real with you. As soon as I got married, I realized, like, yo, Didi is a lot like your mom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you watch TV and you saw stuff on TV, but your mom went to work every day. Like my mom worked. My mom went to the crib baking cakes. You know what I'm saying? My mother wasn't at home doing that. Like she cooked, but I promise you it was like on the weekend and it was enough for the week. You know what I'm saying? So my mother was a career woman. So it was like, yo, E, come on, you grew up like that. So why are you tripping on, wanting your wife to be something that, she's not? You just want her at home cooking and all that. You didn't grow up like that. So whatever. And so I had to really ask myself, see, like, what do I want? And I wanted to be happy in my marriage. And more importantly, I wanted Didi to be happy. I wanted Didi to feel like a sense of purpose in her life. So something happened to me and I die. I didn't want her to feel like she don't have a life outside of me and the kids. You know what I'm saying? That she has a life and she has purpose. You know what I'm saying? So for me, again, Didi's not going to let you, you know what I'm saying, bully her, or she's not going to let you not let her be who she is. But I do remember me having to make adjustment mentally and saying, yo, we run in the zone. Either you get with the zone and you have success, on the court, or you keep trying to run what you think you should run. And for me, bro, I'm just happy in my marriage, so whatever adjustments I have to make, whatever sacrifices I have to make, I'm extremely pleased, extremely happy. I don't want to be with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested in nobody else. I love my life. And so if that means, for instance, see, when we went to the game, from the assessment, I remember being like, I'm just being real. See, like, when you travel, how, like, if you're a president, well, traditionally, you know what I'm saying, if you're a president of the United States of America or you are a certain leadership role, like you're supposed to have your wife with you. You know what I'm saying? Like your wife's supposed to be on your arm. And I grew up on that, but after, taking the assessment and stuff, I told Didi on this last run, I was like, yo, you don't got to go to the Loyola game with me if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? She's like, bet, because I don't want to go. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? But she was like, yo, there are times
Was that one of those where you try to say it hoping she would come
Yeah.
anyway?
Yeah. No. I was just on, like, for real, I'm going to stop. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, not
That
shaming
expectation.
her. Yeah, not shaming her really, but like, yo, D, come on, like, I want people to see you. I want people to see us together. I want to be with you. Like, I don't want to go to this experience by myself. But I was like, yo, like, E, you can't, you have to be fair. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's what you want.
So you didn't really want me to go. It was just the ticket popped up.
Oh, yeah, no questions asked.
Okay.
And not that I didn't want you to go. Yeah, not that I didn't want you to go. Yeah, I just know it'd be awkward. Me,
I
you,
thought
and
you
Didi.
just had a ticket for me, like
Yeah,
you had hollered at the
no.
coach and had me a ticket.
No, I'm sorry.
He thought about
Yeah, I'm
you. See,
sorry.
like there was some thought behind
You
the
know, I
gift.
apologize that I made it appear that way. I really apologize. Yeah, that's my fault. See, that's the flamingo. You know what I'm saying? That's the flamingo.
Yeah, you see, with 13 years of the right-hand man to get you a leftover hand-me-down ticket, a desperation that he shoots me a text
No
at 6.
question.
The game start at 6:15.
No questions
Yo,
asked.
see, he trying
Hey.
to come to the game.
But you at least see the priority. When Didi said no, I went straight to you. So.
Oh, he was right next.
I didn't try to sell the
next.
ticket. You know what I'm saying? I didn't try to go Detroit and sell the ticket for face value up off in that joint. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, no, I just think, man, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, what's going to make us extremely happy? Us, not you. But what's going to make us extremely happy? What's going to make us a successful family? And then once you find out what works for us, you make the compromises and you find that happy medium, man. And
Okay, what about the ego part, though? I want to make sure we hit that, too, because my man talked about the ego, and I think that is a big thing for a lot of men, because we all, everybody got an ego, bro. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to feel belittled. Nobody wants to feel hurt. Well, Karl, why don't you take that? Karl, you got a little ego on the low. You know what I'm saying? So the people don't get to hear from you that much on that part of the equation. But I know at times, maybe, even before you was rocking with me and E so heavy, the island culture is different in terms of, husband and wife and that kind of thing. And then you had to leave one culture and come to another. And I wonder, maybe it wasn't a difference. We never really talked about it like that. But I'm wondering for you if there was an adjustment that had to be made coming from, like the islands and Barbados, and now your girl hanging out with Didi. That's a different. That's a mindset shift. You know what I'm saying?
Mindset, earthquake.
Yeah, y'all ain't from our wives is from Detroit, so we knew what we was getting ourselves into. Tamisha now is secondhand from Detroit.
I'm talking about
you know what I'm saying? So
Secondhand smoke.
exactly.
Secondhand screaming.
Exactly.
Hey, no, just to be real, man, like, at the end of the day, he kind of hinted at it, but at the end of the day, you got to decide, like, what are you looking for? Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but there's things that I watch my parents do. So the one thing that I don't do a lot of is I don't do a lot in the kitchen. My wife, when I had a fallout, a major fallout behind that, and I was like, yo, I ain't gonna do it no more, because my wife is super picky, and I kind of took that. I was like, look, let's not make this contentious no more. Like, you do food, and I'm not gonna do it. But there are other
I
areas.
love the negotiation there.
It was real.
It was real. Hey, look at the negotiation. He said, you do it, and I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, no
deal? We're done.
No, but we had, I'm saying, I'm still, at
Oh,
some
no, I
point,
know. Trust me. I know what you're talking about. When you burn, we put your hand on the fire and get burnt, you're like, okay, don't touch that again.
Too many times. So I'm like, look, I'm not going to fight no more. We're not going to do this. But now, so there are other areas done. That's still an area that I'm going to work on. I'm not quitting. Like, I'm never going to, do nothing. It's still an area that I got to, so you talk about ego, I got to just humble myself and get back to that at some point. So that's growth for me. But I'm just saying, there's other areas that I just got to let stuff go. Like, just being real. Like, I want my house to, what he just said, I want happiness all around me. You know what I'm saying? So I think, I read a quote today, and I think it's fitting. Like, people think that they have time. Like, I think that's the big misconception that people have. Like, we gonna get it right at some point. You ain't got no time, bro. So I'm just saying, like, if you want to be happy, like, bro, start doing it today. Like, I'm serious. Like, start doing it today. Like, it ain't no guarantee that you're gonna be married happily another 3 years.
Right.
It ain't no guarantee that, you know what I'm saying? Right. You can't guarantee that. You got to make this thing happen. So the misconception, and y'all can take this to every other area, the big misconception that we live with is that we have time. Like, keep thinking about that. You do not have the time you think. We all think we're going to live to 80 years old or 90 years old. And that somehow we think that we're not going to catch no diseases. We're going to live to like a healthy 90-year-old and just die. Like, you don't have time. Like, people being diagnosed with stuff daily that they didn't plan for. Like, it's happening daily. You know what I'm saying? My wife at the dentist. Oh, I ain't even told y'all. My brother just had surgery this weekend. Like, out of nowhere. He lifting weights and pulled some muscle. Come to find out, like, he didn't take it serious. It happened a couple of months ago, but now, like, his tendon from his, like, chest, like the chest to shoulder, little tendon or whatever, the muscle there literally is ripped away from his shoulder, and the muscle started healing on itself. So there's no connection there now. So my brother just went and, had to go get surgery. They had to take a piece from his foot, to put in his arm. Like, what if my man don't walk again? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Like, there's so many things that happen on a daily basis, y'all, that we just take for granted. You do not have those. So back to my man, you don't have the time you think. Create your happiness today, doggone it. I don't care what you feel, like, self-talk. Tell yourself, all right, this is what I feel, and my wife might be wrong, but you know what? I'm going to err on the side of her wrongness, and we're going to be happy today. Like, I'm going to just suck that up for now. And I'm not saying compromise in every area. For something that, you spiritually connected or you got some strong thing about, like, discuss it with her. But I'm saying all the other stuff, like, it ain't that deep. If it's just you versus her, it ain't that deep. Like, you can let that go. And let me just end it like this. And I think it'll be a happier experience at the end of the evening if y'all can get on the same page by noon that day. Y'all on the same page. Your chances are your evening will end a lot better if you can let that ego go. So I'll end it there.
Yeah. Hip hop preacher going to shed a little light on that.
I just, for me, I always say this, guys. Like, for real, and it may be an anomaly, but I just didn't have a lot of success by myself. I didn't finish school. I'm 16, lived in abandoned buildings. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't have a lot of success. So it's not, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't go home and there's no trophies on our wall that Eric got when he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have that experience. You know what I'm saying? I didn't play football really like that. You know what I'm saying? I ran track, but like didn't do well enough to my grades to stay in it. You know, so really I was a troubled child. So I didn't really I didn't have a lot of success. You know, I didn't bring my parents a lot of pride, you know, as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? So for me, all my success has come from, you know, that flamingo and connecting with the right people, you know. So it's a lot, you know, it's a lot easier for me to be humble because I haven't experienced success. Like I'm not the dude that didn't get help writing the paper. You know what I'm saying? I had to get tutoring to pass a test. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just a little harder. I see it as an advantage sometimes, even though I hate, you know, that I put my parents through all of that. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I don't have things to really show my children about my past. It was funny, my mom was saying the other day, and I'm not saying it has anything to do with it, but my mom was like, yo, I need pictures for the book. And she's like, yo, we just don't have a lot of photos, you know, back in the day. And I know a little bit, she, I don't know, I have to talk to her, but I think a little bit has to do with, for real, we had so much, we like going to see counselors. Like we went through a lot, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a lot of fun time. You know, not that my parents weren't fun, but I was just doing so much crazy stuff and just at a real negative place, you know, that I didn't really start having success until I started connecting with other, you know, people. So it's easier for me to say, yo, E, don't try to act like you that deep, because if the right people walk out your life, you know what I'm saying? Like for real, you could be back where you were before, you know what I'm saying? But because you have the right people in your life, as long as you play your role and do your part, you know, you're going to be straight. So even in the company, there are times when I just like say, hey, I relinquish it. Not that I want to, but I can really say like, yo, you're better at that than me. And it only makes sense, since you're better at that than me, to let you do it. So I don't know if that makes sense, but just not having a lot of success as a teenager, you know what I'm saying? Not finishing school and stuff like that. You just don't have a lot to hang your, like you ain't, you know, it's harder to have an ego because you haven't really had, you know, a lot of success, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I just want to be happy, bro. And
That's
yeah,
it.
you know what I'm saying? Like I'm on Karl level. I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not, bro. I could care less. The ego. I'm like, at the end of the day, if you got your ego intact, but y'all beefing, I'm like, what exactly?
What you got? What you win?
Right, I'm just saying. It's just
right.
simple mathematics. It's like, okay, you got your ego. I'm talking about your ego strong as ever, but you pissed. I'm like, I'm not really sure what that gets you. So I just never understood the logic. And so, not to say I'm not prideful just like anybody else, but yeah, I'm willing to take an L. I ain't tripping on that.
Michigan cold for too long. E, you hear me? Yeah. Michigan is too cold for too long, not for me to have somebody next to me at night.
Oh,
that's why I ain't there right now.
Dirty Santa. The rise of Dirty Santa. I knew Karl was hiding a little Dirty Santa comment under there somewhere. Unbelievable. He went all the way to the end of the podcast to show your true colors.
Let's see your true.
You could have just said that. We could have ended the whole segment 20 minutes ago. Karl waited all the way to the end.
True colors.
Shining through.
I love you.
Yeah, the true colors. Yeah, wow, unbelievable. The return of the grown man gifts. All right, man. I gotta go. Y'all gotta go. I got stuff to do. Y'all got stuff to do. Any parting shots? Anything? Oh man, join Breathe University. Go to breatheuniversity.com. What are y'all doing with your life if you're not in BU? If you're not a part of this squad? People have meetups all over the world. Man, it's been fantastic. We get on the call every Thursday. Myself, Josh, Jamal. Karl E hosting the call on Sundays. We on the calls, man. Just incredible content, online community.
Quest with the marriage boy every
Quest
Sunday.
with the marriage stuff. Oh man, Quest been killing the marriage stuff too, man. Shout out to Quest who did an amazing job on the cruise. It's just fun, man. It's just a fun time to be connected to the community, man. If you've been feeling heavy, if you've been feeling down, if you just need a strong community to be a part of. Bro. Yeah, definitely, man. Come rock with us, man. We're having a great time. It's literally a blast. I tell people all the time when they ask, like, what's the biggest accomplishment you guys have? I'm like, BU all day. You know what I mean? Like, we literally have a family and a community of thousands of people who just like rock with you. You can go to any city, they got your back. You say BU, it's like a real fraternity, you know, sorority. Like we really take care of one another. We got everybody from multi-mega millionaires to, you know, people, man, who just, you know, working their stuff out, trying to get it figured out, man. And it's really, you know, awesome to watch people like, you know, a Jamal connect with somebody who just graduated from college like 2 weeks ago and mentor them. And I think, man, it would be amazing, to have you guys a part. So you guys listen to the podcast already faithfully, man. Come join us on a regular basis. Jump on the phone and talk to us. Yes, we are on the calls. People always write in on that. And you guys really, is ET really, no, E is on every, E probably, I don't think E's missed a call. Even when I think E, I'm like, oh, E got a flight. He might not be able to make this call. E still find a way to be on the call. He calling from the plane
on the call,
right? I'm like, wow. So, listen, man, this is a real family that we're a part of. BreatheUniversity.com. Go check us out, man. If you like it, stay in. If you don't, man, drop. We don't hold anybody to any contracts. We don't have 6 months. Sign up for 8 months. You're literally month to month, and we believe that. And the reason we have such a high retention rate is because we deliver on exactly what we say we're going to deliver on. So shout out to all our Breathe You, our current Breathe You family. We love you. And if you're looking to join an excellent community, man, full of like-minded folks, join BreatheUniversity.com. That's it for me. You guys could go on iTunes and leave us a review as well. That would be great. We got another few years to rock this thing out. Who knows? We might run this another 10, 20 years. Until we feel like you guys have gotten sick of us. So thank you for listening. We appreciate you. E, give us that nugget of the day. Let us get out of here, man.
Man, guys, for real, don't be like, oh, E, that's old school. But for real, man, you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, man, know when to run. Like, for real, some of y'all, like we said earlier, you letting your pride get in the way. And for real, you got to know when to hold them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know when to stand your ground and just say, like, yo, for real, these are my values. These are my principles. I stand on them. But then you also got to know when to say, you know what? I got to let this go. Because what I could lose in the process of winning, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? I could lose my marriage. Or I could lose my relationship with my children. Or I could lose a relationship with a business partner that if you were calm and in your right mind, you would never say some of the things that you say. So I really do need you to get that breathing technique. When you get pissed, I need you to breathe in, breathe out about 10 times. And look, for real, I never want you to say something from this day forward that you like, why did I say that? Like, I never want you to be at a place of regret. And so bring your tone down, bring that tone down. You know what I'm saying? Watch your body language, right? And think it through. Is this a time to hold it? Is this a time to fold it? Is this a time to walk away? Or is this time to run? And I'm telling you, if you can embrace that principle, right, and apply it to every situation, I guarantee you, man, like we've been rocking about 15 plus years and y'all see the magic, not that happens individually, but the magic that happens collectively. And this type of magic, man, I see people do podcasts and I'm like, yo, you can do a podcast, but you just met my man. Like, you and my man don't have no relationship. You and homegirl, y'all ain't got no relationship. So it's not going to come off the same way. And so there's certain things that happen in relationship, that happen in loyalty, that happen in commitment, that happen in forgiveness, that happen in you just, growing up and being mature, like Karl said, and just say, hey, you know what? This is something that I have to deal with. I can't make this about them. So you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. Because it's not worth losing, right? It's not worth losing. It's your boy E.T.
Hey, appreciate that nugget of the day, Karl. Appreciate y'all, man. Love y'all. We'll see you next week.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul.